and welcome to the 2019 graduation ceremony. I want to take a moment to thank all the people here, family, friends, and faculty for showing up and showing their support to this year's graduating class.
At this time, we will recognize our honor students. Students, as I call your name, please come up and receive your cord. Graduating with high honors, Madison Nelson. Graduating with high honors, Madeline Reintz. Graduating with honors, Jordan Schmig. And graduating with high honors, Clara Savatos.
They can say I've lost my mind. I don't care, so call me crazy. We can live in a world that we design. Every night I lie in bed, brightest colors fill my head, a million dreams are keeping me awake.
For the world we're gonna make.
There's a house we can build. Every room inside is filled with things from far away. Special things I can buy. Each one there to make you smile. On a rainy day. million dreams are keeping me awake. I think of what the world could be, a vision of the one I see. A million dreams is all it's gonna take. A million dreams for the world we're gonna
Each year at graduation, it is my pleasure to announce the recipients of this year's Langford Endowment Scholarships. Because of the generous donations from local families and organizations, we will be awarding 23 scholarships to graduates today. Tinta Lodge is proud to award two $500 scholarships to Madison Nelson and Madeline Reintz. The Jessica Goebel Memorial Scholarship for $250 is awarded to Jonathan Harmon. This year's recipient of the Clark Larson Memorial Scholarship for $500 is Madison Nelson. The Ida Ostlin Award of $200 goes to Madeline Reintz. Chosen for the Brittany Kelly Loan Scholarship of $250, Clara Svadis. The recipients of $300 Langford Vocational Scholarships are Noah Allen, Jonathan Harmon, Zachary Holler, Trey Jensen, and Addison Taylor. The Jordan Hanson Memorial Scholarships in the amount of $1,000 are presented to Molly Hansey and Madeline Reintz. This year's recipient of the Roy Palfrey Memorial Scholarship is Judd Carroll. The Langford Evangelical Lutheran Church is proud to award $500 scholarships to Noah Allen, Molly Hansey, Madison Nelson, and Addison Taylor. Receiving the $500 Lloyd E. Daly Scholarship is Jordan Schmig. The Fossil Brothers $500 Scholarship is presented to Madison Nelson. And Madison, if you want to stay here, Madison was also selected for the Rebecca Holler $300 award. The graduates chosen to receive $500 Seiler Memorial Scholarships are Clara Svadis and Madeline Reintz. Congratulations to all our scholarship winners, and please join me in thanking the donors who make these scholarships possible with their donations. Well, good afternoon, graduates. What a great looking group. You look good in these hats. You know, you're the first class that was born after I moved to Langford. So I feel like I really know you. I watched you, enjoyed watching you grow up through the years, and now I get to be here and help celebrate this milestone in your life. So I really congratulate you. The time is really flowing by. It doesn't seem like it's been 13 years. Speaking of time, 40 years ago, I sat right where you are sitting right now. And it's really exciting, isn't it? But it's kind of nervous too. And I remember admitting to my mom that I was just a little bit scared and kind of unsure of what I was going to do when I venture out on my own. And one thing I remember she said was, happiness is a destination. Happiness isn't a destination, it's a journey. It's yours in the making. We need to own it each and every day. She also shared a quote with me about how some people spend their whole lives searching for happiness, searching for wealth, and never find happiness. But some people invest themselves in searching for happiness, and by the things they do, by what they love, and surrounding themselves with friends and family, they find great wealth. My mom died this past year, and after her funeral, I ran across a poem that's entitled The Dash, and I'd like to share it with you today. The author is unknown. Now, you've probably seen when people die, we sum up their life by listing the year they were born, followed by a dash, and then the year that they died. So my mom's life was summed up 1932-2018. That dash represented all the time that she spent alive on earth, and those who knew and loved her knew what that line was worth. For it matters not how much we own, the cars, the house, the cash. What matters most is how we live and love and how we spend our dash. So think about this long and hard, and there are things you'd like to change. You never know how much time is left for priorities to rearrange. If we just slow down and consider what's really true and real, and always try to understand the way other people feel, and be less quick to anger, and show appreciation more, and love the people in our lives like we've never loved before. If we treat each other with respect, and more often wear a smile, remembering that our little dash might only last a while. So when your eulogy is being read, with your life's actions to rehash, would you be proud of the things they say about how you spent your dash? Well, today it's time for you to begin your dash. Life can be a little scary, sometimes downright terrifying, but you guys are ready for the challenge. Just remember the words from my mom. It's your life. Take control of it. You need to own it. It's yours for the making. Don't hesitate to begin living your dash like thinking, well, it's just something I can get to someday. When I think of procrastination and putting things off, I'm reminded of a story about a really shy man who fell in love with a woman. He sensed that she felt the same way, but he just couldn't find the courage to approach her and ask her out. He finally decided to mail her an anonymous letter every day until he got up the courage to reveal his feelings. He mailed the letters faithfully for an entire year, and finally, he was ready to call her, only to discover that she had married the mailman. Don't wait to start living your dash. It begins today. On behalf of the school board, the teachers and staff of Langford Area School, congratulations and the best wishes to all of you.
Hi, I'm Madison Nelson.
I'm Madeline Reintz.
I'm Jordan Schmig.
And I'm Clara Savadas.
We're this year's honor students.
Which means we have to write this speech.
And that also means we're apologizing in advance.
We decided on the theme movies for our class because if you know us, you know we're basically all stars of pretty unique blockbuster hits.
To start off, we chose the film Casper for Noah. If you know Noah, especially the Noah from a few years ago, sometimes it felt like you were talking to a ghost. He was very shy and quiet in elementary school, earning him the nickname No One or No Name Noah, because it felt like no one was there. As he's gotten older and gone through hardships, like putting up with Judd, we've watched him bloom into a pretty fun-loving guy who loves sports, Friends, and The Big Bang Theory. But none of these precious items are loved by him more than he loves his mom.
Next, we choose the movie Billy Madison for Logan. Logan's pretty well off, in our opinion, but sometimes he's not the brightest. He once claimed to have a brain headache in the middle of an assignment, and that's only one of his many zingers, what he's not really thinking before he speaks, which happens often. Last year was a rough one, in that he unwillingly whipped a calculator at Zach's face, making him bleed. Only a few days later, Zach got him back, though, by force-feeding him Skittles until he spit them everywhere. He's a pretty fun and playful guy, though, and he's always able to lighten the room.
We pretty easily picked Forrest Gump for Judd. I mean, they both run a lot, thanks to track, and Judd is proudly a member of the National Guard. I will say, though, he's not the greatest at ping pong. Judd is very energetic and sometimes bizarre, like that one year he would only walk around if Noah and I carried him, like Captain Jack Sparrow. Judd also insisted on giving Ethan Benke a piggyback ride in the 5th grade, which ended with him falling and busting his tooth. Judd and I dated 3 times before 6th grade. The last time we dated, I broke his heart on Valentine's Day. He's finally found his Jenny, however.
It's self-explanatory why we picked The Sound of Music for Molly. Not only does she sing well, she leads the altos and choir, she plays the piano, she's mastered many percussion instruments, and she gives a wonderful violin performance, especially when she fiddles. Molly joined us in the 6th grade, and it seems as though she's grown a full 8 feet since then. She loves to talk, and don't worry, it doesn't have to be about anything important. She knows all the latest drama and gossip, so be careful when you tell her a secret. And although she's busy with a very full life and house, she always finds time for her girlfriends.
Dumb and Dumber might seem harsh for Jonathan, but if you look at his haircut, that alone qualifies this title. Then you take into account that he's a rather goofy guy, and it all falls into place. He, like Molly, joined our class a little later, but he's made his mark all the same. He shows his love through teasing and loves to cause chaos, even if it's through arguing and making anything he wants a controversial topic. All joking aside, though, Johnny is smarter than he acts at times, and he really is a talented handyman that excels in the classes he enjoys.
I'm pretty sure that everyone here has seen Tarzan. Now just imagine it as though Tarzan had been raised on a sheep farm in South Dakota. And you have to admit that Zachary is it to a T. He sure enough acts like a wild animal at times, and we have some stories to prove it. In about the 4th grade, Zach was playing basketball, and in going in for a dunk, he made the shot and came down missing a tooth. Another time in math class, Zach was asked to identify a part of a triangle and confidently guessed it as an adjective. In all seriousness, Zach is very intelligent when he cares about the subject, and he's a fun guy to be around.
Trey is modeled after an oldie but a goodie, Smokey and the Bandit. He's the only person I trust to ask about my vehicle problems, besides his dad, and I know collectively the class agrees. In the 5th grade, he had a bit of an identity crisis because from behind, apparently, he and I looked the same. But then he grew up so I'm like half the size of him, and now no one would make that mistake. He's an expert shooter at this point, the only person I know that's in trap shooting, and he puts those skills towards hunting often. If he isn't out hunting with pals, he's tinkering with the car or racing something he probably shouldn't be.
Let's see if you can place this next movie to a student. Cheaper by the dozen. Tons of kids in the house, so overcrowded you can't even go to the cupboard to get a glass of water without there seeming to be a kid waiting there. Of course, it's Selena. We struggled to think about what to say for her because we realize how important Selena is to us. Sure, we don't have very many funny stories, but that's because she's calm and collected. If we were all stupid idiots, we probably won't all be up here today. Selena is the thing that keeps us all from spontaneously combusting, and she is definitely the glue that holds us together as a class.
Madison is the main star of 13 Going on 30. She's basically married, and I bet if we snooped around enough, we could find a mortgage and a 401k for her, hidden around somewhere. Now, don't get us wrong. She had the normal teenage rebellion stage, like everyone else did. It was just 5 years ago. To be fair, that was 15 years ago for Maddie, so we have to give her a break. She's up here with us, which means she's pretty smart, although she is very noticeably blonde at times. For example, one day this year, when Mr. Seiler handed us assignments with the intentions of passing them back, as we had done for the past 5 years, Maddie sat in the front of the class, and upon receiving a paper for both herself and me, she held the extra copy up and said, "Mr. Seiler, you gave me too many."
This next choice is a bit obscure, but if you give me a moment, it'll all make sense. In the movie Bruce Almighty, there's a scene where Jim Carrey is sitting in a diner, and he parts tomato soup like Moses parted the Red Sea. We chose this for Madeline because in 4th grade, although she didn't have the godly power to part soup, she did have the ability to sneeze, and she shot snot into Zach's sad bowl of chicken noodle soup. She also had a stint where, up until sophomore year, if she said anything, even like crap, she had to follow it with the sign of the cross and the Lord's Prayer. As ridiculous as this sounds, Madeline is absolutely brilliant, talented, and caring. Sometimes she might even care too much, like that time in 4th grade when Clara broke her arm, and instead of running to get help, Maddie started to cry because it looked like it hurt.
Trains, planes, and automobiles. Did I just say a movie title or a list of 3 things Jordan loves unconditionally? Have you ever heard the man speak? He's a walking encyclopedia for all the stuff that no one pays enough attention to remember besides him. He hates technology, and he's always the guy that claims to be born in the wrong generation. If you listen to his music choices, you'd agree. I remember a time, though, when Jordan was a vigilante. In elementary school, Jordan would do all he could to protect frogs and toads, which included a time when he tackled another student to the ground after watching the boy stomp on one of these innocent animals. There's another notorious story about Jordan. In the 1st grade, the bathroom was in the classroom. Well, one day Jordan had to use it, and moments later, Madeline found out the hard way that he was using it with the door open.
For Clara, we choose the heat, but more specifically, Melissa McCartney's character from the movie, of how she's quoted as being foul-mouthed and hot-headed. Clara shows her affection through being mean and joking. So if by the time she's done talking to you, you're ready to cry, she must really care about you. She's always as clumsy and full of bad luck as she is harsh. She broke her arm in the 4th grade by letting go of a swing set. She managed to make Molly laugh so hard that Molly flung her hand out and punched her, breaking her glasses. A year later, Clara was running with a basketball and fell, somehow fracturing her hip. A few months later, a volleyball smoked her in the face and broke her glasses yet again. It's pretty obvious she doesn't have skills in sports, but she's up here, so that means she's pretty smart.
Addison, As If. We chose Clueless, a 90s hit, and were it recast today, Addie would be the star. She's popular, fashionable, and just a bit airheaded. Oh yeah, there we are. All right. There's a funny memory we all remember often. When we were in Mrs. Carson's math class, Mrs. Carson asked Addie, "What's 2 plus 2?" And Addie looked up without missing a beat to ask, "What's the question again?" That's not that bad, is it? It becomes a little worse when you realize that this happened in 6th grade, not 2nd or 3rd. Cher, the main character from Clueless, has a whole situation with driving, and Addie does too. Instead of struggling to earn her license, Addie is Case's personal chauffeur. Even though we tease and joke, Addie is a vital part of the class and is loving, funny, and kind in what she does, even if she's loud when she shows her affection.
Last, but certainly not least, we have Samantha. We chose the Princess Diaries for her because she has the clothing, the attitude, and the desire to rule over us all, just like a princess. It's just too bad she hasn't been given her own country to govern yet. She makes herself known in all decision-making processes and makes sure that if something happens, she has a part in making the plans. She's a really hard worker, and she always stays around to do things and participates in group activities, even if she's got a few comments to say while doing so. We're all very happy to say that she's the greatest of all the Wicca siblings, and if you don't believe us, just ask her, and she'll tell you why.
I know this speech was pretty long, but honestly, we all had to be here for 13 years, so what's 10 more minutes for a speech? I want to take a moment to thank all of you, teachers, family, friends, and community members that believed in us and pushed us to get where we are today. Also, congratulations to all of us up here. We've worked really hard and we deserve this, even if we didn't always think we'd make it to this place.
on today's commencement exercises, there will be a congratulatory line in the hallway in front of the trophy cases. Ladies and gentlemen, having completed the requirements for graduation as set forth by the state of South Dakota and the Langford Area Board of Education, I am pleased to present the graduating class of 2019. Seniors, please rise. As I call out your names, please come forward and receive your diploma. Noah James Allen. Logan Ryan Block. Justice Michael Carroll. I know. Molly Jean Hansey. Jonathan Joe Harmon. Zachary Allen Holler. Trey Parker Jensen. Selena Ann Marie Joe Cable. Madison Jane Nelson. Madeline Marie Reintz. Jordan Tyler Schmig. Clara Josephine Svadas. Addison Joe Marie Taylor. Samantha Renee Wicca. Ladies and gentlemen, the class of 2019.
You get a hug. You get a
When I walk past your parents, got a good hairdo.